Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is to try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us in this challenge for as little as $9 a month and also get access to our exclusive in-depth strategy video, information is available in the description below. In the previous video we looked at the top 10 questions with regard to MMTLP, so please refer back to the previous video for detailed and in-depth analysis and feedback with regard to some key questions. In today's video we're going to be also looking at ticker symbol MMTLP, and the focus is going to be on FUD. There has been a lot of viewer suggestions with regard to an update on where we are with regard to FUD, so stay tuned for that. Before we get started, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the markets, and I'm sure you're aware that the overall situation in the markets is not good. MMTLP was the odd one out in terms of the overall market, and we saw it was up in excess of 25%, but let's have a look at what's going on. The key fear here we can see in the latest headline. The chip makers are weighing in on the US market. The Dow Jones was down approximately 600 points on close of play on Friday. So obviously key stocks like AMD are going to be struggle and possibly missing their third quarter earnings. So the outlook is not good. So hopefully with regard to MMTLP, this will be a shining light. So I'm going to start by giving a shout out here to Mike Sanchez, who's reminded me here in terms of what's going on with the previous video. So he says, "Yo Ali, the stock dog is at it again." So shared a link there, so thanks very much for the update, and he did want me to maybe have a look at the debunking video, so I'm going to have a look at that now. So in terms of the video, overall the title of the stock dogs video is short squeeze incoming penny stock hype. So in terms of my overall feedback, before I give you my overall feedback, let's have a look at a quick summary in terms of some of the people referring to his video in the comments and what they have said in terms of MMAT. First of all, his position on that is previously, after being bullish on MMAT, he's now no longer liking the company, and it is rubbing him the wrong way. So I'm not sure how it was rubbing him before, but now it's rubbing him the wrong way. Previously maybe it was rubbing him the right way. What I'd also like to give a shout out at the bottom here is BTW Brand, who said, like a snake eating its tail, you'll be back telling everybody like that you do like MMAT. And so the reason why BTW Brand is saying that is because he's now talking about a potential short squeeze in MMTLP. So obviously changed his mind very quickly. And finally at the bottom, shout out to MTY Gray, who's also said here, who is paying you? So in one of my previous videos where I covered this person in terms of the FUD and the significant errors in the previous video, I'm sure many of you were aware of, he was referring to MMTLP as a company, he was referring to it having a market cap, he was referring it to the preference shares as common stock. So he was very misguided. So in terms of the current video, he has corrected himself. He has now acknowledged and accepted that it is a preference share. However, in terms of his opinion, he believes it's just a short-term trade to sell, you know, for a quick swing. So he's only looking for a swing. He's not looking for anything more than a swing. And in terms of his valuation, what he has said, he's looking at a valuation. He believes it's valued at $297 million. And he's also looked at the assets. He believes the assets are $49 million. So again, possibly he might be living on cloud cuckoo land. I'm sure the assets, everybody knows, are not $49 million. So the other thing he also said is obviously lack of information with regard to the undeveloped land for oil and gas. So one thing I'd like to educate the stock genius with regard to the assets. If let's say, for example, Metamaterials extracts oil and extract gas, then obviously that's creates significant problems in terms of confidentiality for getting a new seller. It also has huge tax implications. So in order to reduce costs, it's better to complete the drilling, comply with the requirements of the lease. The new company can come in, check if there is how much gas there is, how much oil there is, and then once they actually carry out the drilling, they will then have a responsibility. So obviously I'm not sure if he's read the S1 new submission, but in terms of the overall feedback, a little bit better video this time. So let's now have an update with regard to Rob. Rob is a regular contributor to the channel, so again I think it's quite good to engage with Rob and get his perspective on things. So shout out here to PBA Jeff 31, who's chipped in here with regard to MMTLP. He's also an original holder in terms of a legacy holder, and he's talked about the key dates. And what Rob has chipped in here, he says torch on Nasdaq turned into an MMAT stock. That's where the shorts cover as always. So this is a significant matter of contention. So it looks like Rob is still suggesting here that the shorts have to cover by buying MMAT. So I think if we have a look at the clarity provided in the new S1A version 2 submission, I think this time there was a statement with regard to MMTLP. There was confirmation that you need to buy MMTLP to cover. So again, a little bit of disagreement here from Rob. But what he is saying is MMTLP is our rights from the June 23rd ex-dividend date. So shares are different than our OG torch shares. So I think he seems to be sticking to his guns here. And let's continue with the same theme. Now, shout out here to Dennis Huffman, who said it's bittersweet. We've all been waiting for MMTLP to be finalized. And Ali calling out the FUD in his videos will be greatly missed, and hope to hear all of the MMTLP fam to the moon. So with regard to the FUD, one of the things I have been doing is calling out FUD. This is something that is a regular feature on the channel. So I think one other thing I'd like to give a message to everybody out there is once the whole situation is over, I think I may actually give an overview video in terms of the background story to all this, which I'm sure very many of you will find interesting. But let's focus on Rob for now. So he's also said here, you'll learn what I've been saying is all true. Hope people do their own DD. Ali does an excellent job covering everything, and that's why I respect him greatly. Just needs to do a bit more with regard to the record date, and obviously he believes in the dates according to the legacy holders. So again, in conclusion, for Rob, I'm going to obviously politely agree to disagree, and what I've suggested to Rob is let's finally agree on the dates with S1 approval when we will get the official dates. So hopefully Rob can give the same response as Chucky and say I have an egg on my face. So before we look at the final Fudster Raymond soups, I'm going to give a quick shout out here to Tuyan Vlog, who's also added a cryptic comment with regard to short. So let's see if we can get a translation on this. So what he said here, if this hits $20 plus short, start to SH their pants. So again, with regard to the word SH, I'm not sure if that means keep quiet, but hopefully Tuyan can give us a translation there. What I would also like to know is Tuyan also talking about with regard to shorts, a person like Kevin. So Kevin Chang, one question I'd like to ask Raymond is, are you Kevin Chang? So obviously Kevin Chang's key, we could say, statement here that he's identifies himself as is, it's not enough for me to succeed, that I should succeed, others should fail. So question over to Raymond, are you Kevin Chang? But let's now have a quick look at what Raymond's update is with regard to the FUD. So he's now posted here, best case scenario, if you believe in Torchlight Hype, you could bring in 48 cents a share at the current share accounts. It's a pure gamble. So remember, Raymond was also telling everyone to sell for below $1.50, but he's not obviously the type of person to accept any mistakes. He's also the type of person that is an open bear, so he's not really somebody as coming across as Cinderella dressed as a bear. He's a bear dressed as a bear, so that's what he says he is. So he's also said here they don't have cash to drill this year as well, so wrong there, Raymond. We've just had confirmation of drilling. He's also said dilution is needed to raise funds, not if there's a sales, not necessarily. So it's there in terms of obviously confirming the in terms of a potential backup plan going forward. But if we have a buyer, no need for dilution necessarily, but all options are open. So with regard to needed, it's not needed, it's an option. The next thing he said is stock expected to be given to buy out the rest of the Orogrande holders' interest. So I'm not sure what you mean by there, Raymond, but again, very misleading statement there. Stock expected to be given to buy out the rest of the Orogrande holders' interest. A complete load of gobbledygook there. So we're not sure what you're talking about, Raymond, or is it Kevin? I'm not sure. He's also said once untradable, no way to get your money back. Again, complete BS there, Raymond. There is a way to get your money back, and that is once we get a buyer. And finally, he says no clear plan to sell it. Look at what they're going. Looks like they're going to drill to try get money from the oil. So again, there is a plan to sell it. Read the new S1 submission. Please refer back to the previous video. So thanks for your input, Raymond, and good luck with being short. And finally, before we finish the video, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Bourbon returned. He's now an ex-bear and now he's become a bull. So let's see what he said here. Is also, can you tell there are a lot of eyes on this, looking at the YouTubers, Ali, Bird Lady, etc. views on their recent videos, and what Mr. Bourbon, the ex-bear, has now said is, I was very bearish at one point, but I will admit that was more due to my personal hate towards George. It's very hard to deny that the assets are going to make a lot of us rich, though. So hopefully you can eat your words long term with regard to metamaterials as well. But good news that you're no longer a bear. And just to finish off, a quick shout out to our weekly watch list. And if anybody would like to get access to our weekly watch list, which will be made available to trading members in the Discord prior to trading on the Monday, you can join us for as little as $9 a month. Information is available in the description below. One of the stocks that we called out previously was FNGR, and then at one point this was also up in excess of 700%. Not all stocks are successful, and currently trading conditions extremely difficult, but we will be keeping an eye on a number of stocks. One of the stocks we will keep an eye on is ticker symbol NURO. We'll also be looking at MMTLP and FNGR amongst many others. So thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.